wanted to tell you guys that I was working on a video for this week, and I decided to postpone it till next week, just because I wanted to kind of reorganize some stuff on my website. But I'm going to give you a quick teaser of what we're doing. This is a cheapo pawn shop base that my buddy brought over to my shop, and he asked me about what I feel like are the best budget base upgrades. And I was like, go ahead and bring it by my shop, and I'm going to show you all the best budget upgrades. I'll just upgrade it for you for free, just so I can show this off. This is a video I've been meaning to make for a long time, but I just haven't had any good bases to do this with. So I'm pretty excited to show you what all I've done this. I completely overhauled it, and it's going to be a very rad instrument. So, well, not going to be, it is. So that video next Friday. Are there people in the chat? Because they're not showing up on my thing. All right. It says there's 10 people watching, so that's good. Anyway, go ahead and sound off if you guys are in the chat, but we're going to go ahead and dive in. I've got this sweet little box here from FoxAlien. My wife just said hi in the chat. She is moderating, Mrs. Guns. Say hi to her. And so, yeah. After I uploaded my video on the CNC laser, you guys mentioned that you wanted to see some more budget-friendly CNC stuff. And I thought that was a great idea. All right, Saw Good Guitars is here. All right, Van Shank Guitars. Okay, everyone's coming through now. Okay, thank you. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining. So I got to give a quick shout out real quick to my buddy Sean Jolie over at Scar My Guitar. I don't know if he's in the chat. I think he was hoping to make it to this live stream, but I don't know if he's able to. He's the one that turned me on to this brand of CNC routers. He said it's pretty much the only budget-friendly brand that you could really get away with for what I do, for guitar building. And so he was the one that turned me on to it. So I'm really excited to open this thing up. I've been chatting with Sean. He's been giving me some really good tips, which I'll mention to you guys as we go through this. When it comes to CNC stuff, he is just the man. He's got years more experience with it than I do. And so I've really appreciated his help and his friendship here. So if you're interested in like CNC guitar work, definitely check out his channel, Scar My Guitar. But let's go ahead and open this thing up. This is the FoxAlien Pro. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And I put a link to it down in the description. A link to where you can buy it from FoxAlien, as well as where you can buy it on Amazon. And the cool thing is, FoxAlien actually uses Amazon as their US fulfillment. So if you buy it from directly from FoxAlien, you live in the US, you'll get free Amazon Prime shipping. So that's kind of a bonus. And so you can get these, the Masuda Pro, I believe starts at $629 on their website. And it's $6.99 on Amazon, and it currently also, I think they have like a $50 off coupon on Amazon, so it's like $6.49. But you can still save 20 bucks by buying it directly from FoxAlien, and like I said, it's fulfilled by Amazon anyway. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. The reason why I chose the Masuda Pro, and I apologize for the background noise, there's people pulling away. I do work in a driveway, and so there's people that, or I do work in a garage, and so there's a driveway obviously outside the garage. So that's what you're hearing. And I've listened back on these live streams, and I realized that the audio here in the garage is terrible, and I apologize for that. So I actually ordered a wireless lavalier mic today. Stuff's falling off of my shelves in the background. I ordered a wireless lavalier mic for my iPhone today. So hopefully these live streams, the audio quality will get better. So it seemed like it was more usable in my motorhome than it is inside this garage here. So we're gonna work on that. So here's what the Masuda Pro looks like. And this is one of their better CNCs that they offer because, as you can see, it's got all aluminum structure. So it's not like a rack and pinion or anything. It's still like belt drive. I think all of their stuff is belt drive. But this one is a little bit better. One of the reasons why I went with this one as opposed to the other ones is because this one is upgradable in that it comes with the proper fitting to upgrade the spindle that comes with it to a Makita trim router. And so that's one of the upgrades that I'm going to do right away. Is I actually already bought the trim router. I got one used on eBay for 50 bucks. It comes, I think, with a a 60-watt spindle, and which is, it's not going to be near powerful enough to do anything with hardwoods. And then they have an option to buy it with a 300-watt spindle, but it's like an extra $130 or $140, I think, for that. And the Makita trim router is only like 120 bucks brand new. And like I said, I bought one on eBay used for 50 bucks. So that kind of seems like a no-brainer to get a better spindle, essentially, for less money. So highly recommend that. Looks like we got a power supply. I think these are the boards that go underneath it for like screwing down your clamps. So you can see that they've got all these like little like lock screws inside the holes. So we have some spare belts, some electronics connections. The reason why I'm unboxing this live is because another thing about the Masuda Pro is that supposedly it goes together really fast. Like you're supposed to be able to have this thing together and ready to rock in less than like 20 minutes. So we're gonna put that to the test. This looks like the clamp probably for the Makita router. We got our screw down clamps for the board. We've got some extra pieces that we're gonna need probably. And we got all the tools required, wrenches and Allen wrenches. Got a little brush probably for cleaning up your workspace. We have these things, which are, I have no idea. If you know anything about CNC stuff, maybe you can tell me what those are. Another piece of MDF, maybe that's to test practice on. All right. Some railings. Aha. So here is the 60-watt spindle, and you can see how dinky this thing is. There's just no way that I can use this for what we're going to be using this for. This looks like the clamp. Oh snap, I just threw a screw. This looks like the clamp. All right, Mrs. Guns is on it. This looks like the clamp for the 300-watt spindle. Nope. Oh yeah. So this thing, because this thing has a little like bushing on it so that it fits in the same clamp as the 300-watt spindle. But I think the 300-watt spindle doesn't require any bushing, just slides right in there. And this seems like quality stuff. It's all milled out of aluminum. Like this is like pretty heavy duty stuff. And here we go. We have our Z-axis. So actually, I guess this is the X-axis and the Z-axis. So the Z-axis goes up and down. The X-axis goes left to right. Or maybe that's the Y-axis. Oh no, it says X motor on it. So I was right. X-axis.
Can you get it together, please?
I know. I'm still new to the CNC stuff, all right? So yes, and I can see how this thing's going to go together really fast because look, the stepper motors come pre-installed on the railings. So this is going to go together definitely much faster than my CNC laser that I got. It came in like 1,000 pieces and I spent all day putting that thing together. And gosh, I need a bigger workbench. That's what's happening here. Keep knocking stuff off. We'll lose that screw again, that's still in there. Good. All right. We got the one for the other side. Oftentimes when you buy a CNC machine, it actually doesn't come with the controller. This one does. So we got the controller, and it's already hooked up to I believe this is the Y-axis, the one that runs lengthwise. Some extra brackets. And some extra pieces to go together. So now I, again, am no CNC expert, and my wife just said I'm pretty dang excited.
Because David Cat said time to drool over Dan's new toy.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. I'm no CNC expert here, so I don't think we're actually going to get this thing like running a program before the end of this live stream because I just don't know how to. I haven't worked with the software at all yet. So, but the instructions They give me a package list so I can compare that to make sure I have everything that I need. But then right there on page 3, how to assemble, and it looks pretty darn easy. So why don't we go ahead and try to build it together. If you guys have any questions, okay, so I already have a question from Stephen John. I missed the start. Is it big enough for a body? So one of the reasons why I chose the CNC Pro from FoxAlien is because it is upgradable. So I can, and they say that on their website there's an extension kit coming soon, whatever that means. But I've already joined a FoxAlien unofficial upgrades group on Facebook, and if you guys are interested in this machine and what its potential is, then join the FoxAlien CNC group on Facebook and join the FoxAlien unofficial upgrades group, because there's a lot of people that have found out how to upgrade these machines with like cheap parts that you can find online from like CNC parts suppliers. But this thing routes I think it's 400 millimeter by 400 millimeter, so same as my CNC laser when I first got it, which is about just shy of 16 inches by 16 inches. So just barely not quite enough to do a full guitar body. It might be enough to do a fretboard if you did it diagonal ways. I don't know, we're gonna have to try that out once it's together. But the biggest thing is, I can buy an upgrade extension kit, which you guys saw with my CNC laser, extended it to 32 by 16, which is enough to do just about anything for guitar building you would need. And so I assume that the extension kit that they're going to come out with is going to do the same thing, but really you only need to extend it about two more inches on the y-axis to get a guitar body, or 4 more inches on the y-axis to get a bass body. And so it's really close to being able to do the full thing. You could do the majority of it and then just get the rest out on a bandsaw. But what I plan to do actually is I want to use this just to get the neck pocket, pickup cavities, and electronics cavities all done, because that's the part of guitar building that I'm finding I hate the most, is routing out all those cavities. So if I could do that just on a blank, because I know the machine's going to be big enough for me to fit a full-size guitar blank on. It just doesn't have the routing area to route out the full perimeter of the guitar. But if I could do that inside stuff, then I can then put one of my other templates on top and trace it and take it to the bandsaw. And it only takes me about between 6 and 12 minutes, depending on the type of wood, to cut out a shape on the bandsaw. So that would be huge, that I could just have this thing do all the hard work, and then I just go knock that out real quick on the bandsaw. So that was a really long explanation, but to answer your question, no, as it comes, it is not quite big enough for a guitar body. It's very close, but you can upgrade it with either aftermarket stuff or with the official upgrade whenever they release it.
What's the cost?
The cost, so I already mentioned this earlier, the cost if you buy it directly from FoxAlien is $629 currently. There's a link in the description. And you can buy it on Amazon for $6.99, which they also have a $50 off coupon, so that makes it $6.49. But I also mentioned in the beginning that FoxAlien uses Amazon as their US fulfillment. So if you live in the US, you can buy it on FoxAlien and you'll still get that free prime shipping from Amazon. So just a little tip there. Also, I think FoxAlien is going to hopefully give me a coupon code. I'm working with them a little bit on this project, and I'm hoping to get a coupon code for you guys. So might be able to get it a little bit cheaper, we'll see. They also offer the 4040XE, which would be another one. It doesn't have the full like heavy duty aluminum like beams that this one does. So it's not quite as heavy duty, but it is, I think, $100 or so cheaper. And that's the one that actually most of the people in the FoxAlien unofficial upgrades group on Facebook, that's the one that most people use as their base model to upgrade. So you might want to look into that as well. All right, so I'm talking too much about the machine, although you guys are asking really good questions, but I really want to get this thing together. So I need to find the two. So, all right, these two, I need another workspace, or I just need to take some of this stuff off. That's what I need to do. I'm just gonna take some of this stuff off the table. Babe, if you see any good questions come through while I'm doing this, just go ahead and let me know. I'm not gonna pay attention while I'm trying to put this
Someone saw a
together.
mouse on the wall a minute ago, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so there's a little hole underneath where, like, between my bandsaw and spindle sander, and This time of day, he tries to creep out, and I usually see him, and he runs back in. So that's probably what just happened. So I've been meaning to set up a mousetrap there, but
Caught it on video.
So that's fun. I'm gonna go back and watch the replay, see if I can see that.
The other question is, can a CNC carve the neck, or is that a manual thing still?
I don't see why not.
Did they hear my question?
Oh, sorry. So the question, I think that they can hear you probably just as well as they can hear me, but I'll go ahead and repeat it anyway. Somebody asked if you can use a CNC machine to carve the back of the neck, or if that still has to be done manually. And I think you could, I don't see why you couldn't, using the right bit and the right programming. I really don't see why you couldn't do that. I think you could probably, at the very least, even with not the right bit and not very good programming, get the majority of it done, and then just go back with a like a orbital sander or a Shinto rasp or something like that, and just like touch it up. I mean, these are all really great questions that I can't wait to answer once I've actually had some time to play with this machine. So, all right, I've got my X-axis aluminum profiles. I've got, I need 8 M520 flat cap screws. What do I do with mine? M5 by 20, oh, must be these. Okay, I need 8 of them. And again, guys, feel free to ask questions while I'm doing this. Otherwise, it's probably going to be real boring.
What software will you use?
What software will I use? So, I'm really limited on my software options because I'm a Mac user. So I'm going to be using Easel. Again, Sean from Scar My Guitar has recommended that, and it's a web-based application, which means it doesn't matter what platform you use, PC or Mac. And I found a lot of people, again, in that Facebook group that have recommended using that as well. And I guess it has a built-in G-code sender, which I don't really know what that means, but apparently it's something important in order to make the machine talk to the computer. So there's that as well. And then another optional upgrade for the Masuda Pro is you can get a wireless controller for it, and you can actually use an app from your phone to control it, which I'm very interested in. So I'm not sure how thorough a phone app could be, but it's certainly an interesting idea. But I plan to use my MacBook Pro, same thing that I use for my laser CNCs, same thing I use to edit my videos for this channel, with Easel, I think. So Sean's, and again, huge shout out to Sean. I wish he was here in the chat so that I could chat with him. But he's going to be sharing a lot of his files and stuff to help me get started with this, so I'm really excited for that. So I need my Y-axis aluminum profiles.
I don't know how you're ever going to build this answering questions.
Well, I don't know either. So the Y2 motor and the Y1 motor. And I got those back. Doesn't look like I have them backwards, but according to this, I do. I guess it doesn't really matter.
What's the learning curve?
What's the learning curve for CNC stuff? So the learning curve for the laser, and that's my only experience with CNC stuff.
Oh, Scar My Guitar's here.
Oh, Sean's here. Good. We've been talking about you, brother. Appreciate all the help you've been giving me and helping me figure out which machine to get and which router to get, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later because I bought the Makita router without consulting Sean first, and he actually has a recommendation of something that's better than the Makita. But he's the one that's going to help me get going with Easel and stuff. So glad to have you in the chat, Sean. Thanks for showing up. So, sorry, back to the question, what's the learning curve? Again, my only experience with CNC stuff is with the laser. And honestly, that Orchard Pro laser was actually really easy, and it's set up pretty simple. I didn't have any issues getting it to connect to my computer or anything. And the biggest issue was just learning the CNC language and learning the Lightburn software. Lightburn was my only option as a Mac user. So I had to, and that's paid software, it's not free. I think Easel's free. So to answer your question, I watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to use Lightburn. And that was the hardest part, was just learning how to use the program. And so I probably spent, because I'm me and I don't like to just learn just enough to get going, I like to learn everything about something. I probably spent about 6 hours learning how to use Lightburn. I watched just about every tutorial on YouTube, which there's a lot because Lightburn has a dedicated YouTube channel just for how to use their software. So, but now I'm really glad that I did because I'm really proficient in it. And my very first project that I made was I just wanted to make some humbucker covers just to see if I could not humbucker covers, humbucker rings, just out of plywood just to see if I could. And my first time using the software, it took me about, why is this not going into that? Well, this side's weird. This side's threaded. The other side was not threaded. Do I have the right pieces? I have. Yeah, they're the right pieces. Oh, because the frame goes on the other side. Anyway, back to the humbucker. So I was working on making some humbucker rings, and it took me like an hour to trace a humbucker ring profile in Lightburn, and then another 15 minutes or so to actually cut it out with the laser. And I was like, an hour and 15 minutes, man, I could have knocked this out so much faster if I had just traced it on the plywood and cut it out with a jigsaw. But now, my most recent, I've gotten so proficient with it, my most recent one, I did that full behemoth base template you guys saw in my video for the mini behemoth. I did that whole template in about 15 or 20 minutes, and then just let that thing laser cut itself. And so that was faster. Here's how fast that was. I sold my router table. You guys saw me use my router table to make my original behemoth templates. I sold it because it was so much faster for me to just trace it out in Lightburn and laser cut it. And so that's why I try to learn software programs thoroughly, because once I had a firm grasp on it, I know how to use it so much more efficiently now. And so, yeah.
Sean says after trying to convince you to get it for 2 years, it's
Sean,
almost like he got a new CNC watching you play with it.
Yeah, so Sean, if you guys didn't read his comment, he just said he's been trying to convince me for a couple of years to get into the CNC stuff. And I just didn't think that it was really feasible given my lifestyle living on the road in a motorhome. And honestly, it really isn't if that's your lifestyle. But now that I'm settled down, I'm definitely far more open to the idea. But yeah, Sean said he's excited. He feels like he's getting a new CNC watching me get excited and build this, which Sean, I guess I probably shouldn't share the big news. You guys are going to have to go over to Sean's channel to figure out the big news for him regarding CNC, but it's super cool and I'm very excited for him. He just shared it with me right before this thing. Or you can drop a comment if you don't want to leave people in suspense, but anyway, yeah. I think Sean actually collaborated with FoxAlien a while ago too. I know Sean's primary CNC is the X-Carve, which he recommended I don't get, surprisingly enough. So, what does he say? Hope you're well, brother. Work's been keeping me busy too lately. Okay. So, maybe that means that Sean's got to get back to work. So, see you later, Sean. Thank you
No,
for...
that was Mark Tanner talking to Scarlett.
Oh, was it? Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Stop trying to read comments
I know.
and build a thing
I already
and
can't-
answer questions.
I already can't multitask, so this is terrible. It is just terrible. So, am I doing this? Am I doing this? Okay, just making sure. I don't know if anybody's timing when I actually started putting this thing together. But it's probably not an accurate time for if somebody were just concentrating on putting this thing together.
Well, you're already at 25 minutes.
Well, yes, but I also talked for like 15 minutes before I even opened the box, so.
It's like, yeah, it'll be 30 minutes. It'll be great.
Yeah. Well,
I know better.
I can't make this thing too epically long. If I don't make some serious progress here, then we'll just have to call it. But this thing is seriously legit. It feels so robust. All right, page 2. Okay, so now I put the boards on, the spoil board, using 8 M5 20 bolts.
He says the suspense is killing me.
Who said that?
Sean.
Oh. I will say too, they've got this like hardware stuff really well organized. Far more organized than like putting together IKEA furniture. Like it comes in this little plastic tray with dividers, and it's clearly labeled which tray is what. So I don't have to go searching for all this stuff, which is very nice. All right. What did I do with my spoil boards? Here they are. Okay, how do these go on?
Sean's leaving for a minute, but he'll be back.
Okay, Sean, we'll see you when you get back, brother. Is this the right direction?
So someone asked, what size is it? X by Y by Z. So.
Okay, so X by Y, somebody asked what the size is. It's a question I already answered earlier, but I will oblige because I know a lot of you guys aren't jumping in right when I go live with these things. But this one does 400 millimeter by 400 millimeter, which is just shy of 16 by 16. It's like 15 3/4 by 15 3/4. And that is just barely not big enough to do a full-size guitar body. But they're coming out with extension kits for this. And so that's the reason why I went with this model specifically. Also, if you check out the FoxAlien Unofficial Upgrades Facebook group, there's some people that have figured out some hacks using parts from other CNC machines where you can upgrade these and extend the length and stuff. I know a really popular model that is the FoxAlien 4040 XE. A lot of people on there have been able to make really large and really smooth operating, I guess, CNC machines based on that, which is pretty cool. It's one of the reasons why I like CNC technology now versus when it first started coming into the consumer market. Pretty much you had whatever CNC machine you wanted, you had to buy it like that from the factory. There was no way to kind of scale it, like start out small and make it bigger. And what's really cool is people are now buying small CNC machines and then using those CNC machines to make parts to expand their CNC machine, which is really cool. And so depending on, I don't know how soon FoxAlien is going to be coming out with their official kit for this, for upgrading the size. And if I get too antsy and impatient, I might just look into some DIY upgrades, because you know me, I'm like Mr. DIY. So, but to answer your question, you're only about 2 inches shy of making a full-size guitar body, and you're only about 4 inches shy of making a full-size bass body. So I don't think it would take very much to get there. But as I mentioned earlier in the stream, and again, I know some of you guys are jumping in late, my plan is I'm hoping to use this to make neck pockets and pickup cavities and electronics cavities. And then after that, trace on my template for the perimeter and then just take it over to the bandsaw and knock it out on the bandsaw real quick. Honestly, it would probably be a faster way of manufacturing anyway, because I imagine milling out the perimeter with a CNC router, it would have to do a lot of passes, taking off just a little material at a time. It would probably take a while, but I can cut out a body on the bandsaw between 6 and 12 minutes now, depending on the type of wood. So like Paulownia cuts really easy, so I was able to get that done like really fast. Black walnut, that's where it gets me like the 12-minute category, 10 to 12 minutes. So it'd actually honestly probably be faster to just do the part that I don't like with the CNC and then do the part that I can do fast that I don't mind doing on the bandsaw. And so that's what I'm going to be doing here in the beginning. All right, so next we got to 4 M5 by 16 flat caps. M5, 16 flat caps, 4 of them. Perfect. So easy the way they have this laid out. It's awesome. And we're going to go ahead and put on the Z-axis. We're going to put on Z-axis. Thank you for the pity laugh.
Dad jokes.
Oh, and I didn't answer what the Z-axis, Z whatever is. Am I doing this right? Oh, it's upside down. It's like, that's what I didn't fit. And the answer is, I don't actually know. So I'm sure it's on the FoxAlien website. If somebody wants to click on that link in the description and head over and read up on it real quick. I want to say 4 inches, but I'm not sure. Only need about 2 inches for guitar building. But it would be nice to have some extra clearance, so ideally we'd get more than 2 inches. And again, actually even just going electronics cavities, neck pockets, and pickup cavities, probably even, let's see, well, I guess 3/4 of an inch is all you would need for doing pickup cavities and stuff.
Van Shank sent me $2
Oh!
to have a coffee on him.
Thanks, Van. Hey, Van, can you tell me real quick, how do I pronounce your name? Do you want to go by Van, or do you want to go by, is it Evan or Yvonne? Because on Facebook you spell your name with a Y. So I'm really curious about that.
He says he's in the RV tonight, too.
Oh, and he's in the RV tonight. Cool. Yeah, he's, we used to chat about, like, RV stuff, him and I. He's got I guess he's got a little, like, vacation RV set up at somewhere. I don't know. It's cool. Anyway, thank you for the coffee. Appreciate it, man. What was I talking about before that?
I don't know.
Glad you're paying attention. Thanks, babe. And I know I'm taking forever to do this. You know what? I just realized this whole time you guys can't even see what I'm doing. There. How about that? You can see how quickly this thing is going together, right? Especially, I mean, they've got all the motors and everything. All the belts and everything are all properly connected and tensioned. All the hardware is well laid out, so you can find it easily, and it comes with all the tools that you need. And the great thing about CNC machines is once it's built, which they give you everything you need to build it, once it's built, then you can make your own tools. All right, so now we got to attach the spindle holder, which I'm going straight to the big one for my Makita router. And to attach that, I need 4 M5 by 12 bolts. M5, 12, there they are.
Someone said, it says fully assembled in 10 to 15 minutes. You better hurry.
I know. See, I told you, it's supposed to be, well, and I'm the worst multitasker in the world, so that's the problem here. But yes, this live stream is not a reflection of how fast you can assemble one of these. So it looks like I want to put this probably on the lowest one, according to the instructions. Might be worth mentioning, but the included Allen keys, you can see are the ones that have the ball ends on it. That makes it really nice because I imagine, you know, some of these you might have to get into a tight place and might not be able to do a straight on twist. So again, just another way that they were pretty thoughtful. They included the right tools for the job. So if somebody said it fully assembles in 10 to 15 minutes, then maybe that same somebody can tell us what the z-axis dimension is on this. Or did you just go look up that information just so you can zoom me? And not actually be helpful. Alright, these are snugged up. So now it says next to put in the spindle, which would be my Makita router. So I guess let's go get it. Well, my workbench is just barely not big enough for this. What if I have a piece of wood big enough somewhere? Let's see. So, we'll use my laser spoiled board, which I found out after the fact was a really bad idea and a total fire hazard. Only if you want this live stream over sooner.
That is that.
Slightly bigger. Ah, just barely. That'll work. Cool. Okay. You guys can see. Let's turn it this way. That way we can both see what I'm doing. How about that? Now. Here's my $50 used Makita eBay special.
Lost visual.
Lost visual?
Oh, still going, right?
Yeah, I don't see any issues. I assume the power cable will need to go outside. Maybe. I mentioned earlier in the live stream that this thing comes base model, which is what I got, with a 60-watt spindle, which is not going to be near powerful enough for us for guitar building. So first thing I'm doing, one of the things that comes with it, and again, one of the reasons why I went with this model specifically, is that it comes with a spindle carrier for the Makita router. And so, let's see, if I go like that, then I can't reach the on-off button, so that can't be right. Maybe sideways. Or maybe somebody that knows what the heck they're doing with CNC machines can tell me how I'm supposed to do this. But we'll just go ahead and leave it like this for now. I'm not going to be running it today anyway.
Alright, someone says active working area 15.75 by 15.75 by 2.36.
2.36, so a little over 2 inches they give us on the z-axis, which is good. 2 is all we need. 2.3, plenty. My guitar bodies, I aim for between 1 3/4 inches and 1 5/8 inches. I actually just built a prototype, and I didn't mean to go this thin, but it was because I started building with a piece of wood that wasn't quite dry yet, and I hadn't learned how to haven't learned how to use my moisture meter yet. But it ended up being an 1 3/8, and that was a bit thin. With an 1 3/8, you don't have enough room for a push-pull pod in there. Let's just say that. So it's doable, but just might not get everything on there that you want to have on there.
The router goes all the way down.
The router goes all the way down. Oh, okay. So I mounted it too high. Thank you. Who said that?
Michael Levine.
Thanks, Michael, for the tip. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and fix that.
Jeff Alfred asked if you can cut a Glock slide with that thing. LOL.
So who asked that, Jeff?
Jeff Alfred.
Jeff asked if I could cut out a block slide with this, and the answer is, I guess if you went slow and you had a spindle that could machine steel. I don't know that this one can. I know it can do aluminum. I don't know if it can do steel, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, Glock slides are definitely made out of steel. But that would be rad. So maybe I might have to investigate that. So I do have a Glock 17 clone P80 build, and that'd be awesome to make a custom slide for it. So I'll look into that. I think this is how it's going to go, because now I can still access the speed, the on-off switch, and then this is the little lock for changing the bits in and out. That looks right. So, all right. So we got the spindle, good to go. What was it? Okay.
Okay, you're at 41 minutes.
I'm at 41 minutes. How many more pages do I have? Yeah. At my current rate, I would say I'm about half done. So why don't we go ahead and call it a day, guys? Thank you for joining me. And when I have this thing built, I will get right away started testing it. And I know Sean's going to help me get the software running, and he'll probably give me some files to test it with. So just be looking out for that video. Once I figure out what this thing is capable of, then I'll be making a full review video. And I'm very excited, if you can't tell. And I wish that I could multitask better so that it could be done by now, but this is a little bit too long. So thanks again, guys, for joining me. Thank you again to Yvonne, Ivan. Is it Ivan? Wow, I wasn't even close. Thanks, Ivan, for the super chat. I appreciate you, brother. And I'll see you guys on Monday with the live stream community build.